Bitcoin is moving up over $65,500. We believe that this is actually, unlike Rob, who says it every week, I am saying it. I think this is a real rally. I think 70K could potentially come before September is over, which means October will be absolutely legendary. There's a lot happening. The tides have shifted from people being afraid to enter into the cryptocurrency markets to it being favorable to enter, from what China is doing to even the biggest crypto critics are essentially capitulating and stating, yes, crypto is inevitable. What are we going to do about it? We'll talk about that. We have Alex So joining us to go over the chart. So if you want him to take a look at a chart of some of your favorite altcoins, make sure to drop that in the chat. We're going to talk about big avalanche news. We're also going to talk a little bit about PayPal and what they're doing for 29 million businesses and what that could potentially mean for Bitcoin and crypto. We have that and much, much more in today's episode of Sin City Crypto. Let's go.
Hola! It's your boy Big Rob back in the house. Welcome to Sin City Crypto, home of the entertainment. It's almost 70K kind of day. Cryptocurrency
And
channel.
Robin is very happy today.
Oh man, you know what? I've been saying it all the time. We take old, boring, and stale predictions and we repackage that thing up in a Rob
90K September.
That's right. It's here, bro.
It's here. Well,
and so,
technically it's not.
well, like I said, we're going to get a late rally in September, get some very bullish price action, not only out of Bitcoin, but all coins are absolutely crushing it. Cardano's over 40 cents. My God.
Oh my God, is that?
So, you know, are you finally hopping on the bull train? Because you've been so bearish.
I have.
Now, did you shave your chest too? Because, you know, your boy not only...
Did not shave my chest.
Oh, man. Come on, bro. Come on.
What was that? Then they tell me, then they say I have a joke on you. Of course.
Rocco, are you jealous? It's okay, man.
Jealous of that? Fur?
Yeah.
Like
Is
a penguin with air.
Is that
Maybe it's time for
Lamborghini green?
You know, Victoria's Secret is having a sale, Rocco. So
Lamborghini green.
I do want to share.
What are you giggling about over there?
I like David's joke. It was good.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say chest.
Well, he does need to shave his
I
chest
like David's
too.
joke chest.
Yeah.
You know, I posted this yesterday. Okay, I can feel the sentiment changing in crypto. I can feel it. You look at a chart, you can look at technicals, you can look at fundamentals, but what do you feel? I can feel it changing. I think October is going to be massive, but my question is, September historically has been red. If we end September green or black, as some people like to call it, if we end it up, does that mean October will be even more of a bullish month than we're expecting? Or Robin, do you think that October now won't be as large of a return on Bitcoin because September was green and not red? Where do you stand on that?
I stand by what I've been saying this whole time, and it's very simple, and it's very bullish September close, and then roll into parabolic October. You've spoken and said that you were going to have a down September followed by a very strong October.
Correct.
My stance has been we're going to end September very, very green. Now,
You said 90. You said 90. Don't backtrack now, bro. Okay. But I like what you did there. You're trying to even the playing field by saying that I was also wrong, but you're wrong. So two wrongs make a right. Right?
Wrong.
Okay.
And so
Thursday shows are fun. I wonder why.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What are you doing? up
Nothing.
there?
Go ahead,
Okay.
please.
So what was the question?
I don't know. I'm just looking at that pink box there.
Oh, $50
We ain't talking about no
chat.
donuts either or another pink box. I'm talking about my boy Jimmy. Said going 4 for 4 if CryptoFace shows up and matches me again. Is there
There you
like
go.
a matching game going on?
Is there like some kind of beef going on between them?
Send Face a text real quick. There's
Cinnamon
a
Tech.
bidding war going on.
Bidding war, huh?
My boy's been making a killing on the trades, bro.
Putting out a bat signal.
Dude, he puts out his P&Ls like $500,000.
He's gonna be in town.
180K.
He's gonna be in town in a couple weeks.
We went to dinner with him.
Yeah,
He's a cool dude.
I've been bugging him to come by.
Crypto Face, cool dude. Like Crypto Face. Plays poker too.
Mm.
Not sure if he's good or not, but
He's one of the first crypto people I hung out with.
yeah, that you took $100 from,
He left $100 in the machine,
and you never paid him back,
Well, he left it there, and
and you played with it and lost it. Anyways,
I cashed it out and bought something. I don't remember what
exactly.
it was. That was in 2020. Bro.
Yeah,
that was
you've
4
changed,
years ago.
man. You've really changed. Proud of you, Robin. We have our special guest joining us today. We have Alex O'Crypto. It's been a while since we've had him on the show. Speaking of trading, Alex, welcome back to the show, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you guys for having me. It's good to be back, man. It's been a while.
We're excited to have you. You're always in our chat. We love having you. We love having you as part of our community, and we're excited to have you join us today to break down some charts. We know you just had a baby. You getting some sleep, bro? You using like trading bots to make sure you're up on the thing, or you're going on 2-3 hours of sleep?
It's few and far between. It's those 3-hour intervals, man. That's like a blessing, and then it's scrambling, man. But the newborn, it's happy, healthy, and I'm very
amazing.
Grateful for
That's
it.
great.
So it's pretty amazing.
I'm just curious, at what age will you start teaching him how to leverage trade?
Yesterday.
Yesterday. Okay, so it's already
Made $1,500 yesterday. He pressed buy, so he did really well.
So he's the reason the market went up. Shout out to Alex's kid.
Absolutely, he's moving markets already.
Alex, what's your thoughts on the kind of the sentiment? Are you feeling a sentiment shift, whether it's through how the candles are playing out, or how the charts are looking, or what you're seeing on social media? What's your kind of take on the way the market's been moving over the last 2-3 days?
It's definitely shift. It's definitely moving, in the bullish sentiment. You can see the viewership's coming up a little bit on the YouTube channels and stuff like that. And I mean, after making this high today, I'm ready to ride this gravy train. It's quite beautiful, this move today. So
hold on.
I bet you Alex had no idea what he just said. So
our nickname for our in-house correspondent here is Gravy Train.
Yeah, you had no idea, did you?
I had no clue.
It's Gravy Train silent over there. How you doing?
Hey.
Insert sound effect.
So a lot of people got PTSD, bro. Right? Like we go up 60K and then right back down to 57. What are you seeing on the charts that tells you, or maybe it doesn't tell you, that this rally will be sustained? If we do drop down, we'll stay above the 60K, but more than likely we're going to 70, 72. What are you seeing on the Bitcoin chart? So feel free to talk over a chart if you'd like to.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to switch over here and take a look, because what was interesting is we couldn't switch kind of structure. I think you guys have been talking about that 65K for so long, coming in and being very much a key level of resistance, and how we've just made lows all the way through here. But I mean, after today, we have definitely clearly made a high, right? So that's what I'm really looking at. Is it doesn't really matter what happens now. The sentiment is that we have now made a higher high, so it doesn't matter if we come down. We are looking for that general higher low. That's kind of where we've pivoted. And the big idea, I think, is really on Total 3. Total 3, as we know, you just said it, right? We gave back all these gains after March, and we came back down in here. But what I'm seeing is that we finally have broke this down trend. And that's a major pivot, in my opinion. So we've been watching this as a community going in on the daily here. And we've finally, not only have we broken out of this trend, but we've reclaimed this high. So now it's about being patient, in my opinion. So right now, as a community, we're really just waiting for this thing to possibly trickle back down alongside Bitcoin, and then look to really go in heavy on, this retracement on Bitcoin, and then go in heavy on alts for that big explosive move that we're all looking forward to. And I think that's kind of where I'm biased to. Also with the dollar as well, something I'm looking at too is the dollar losing key support. And the dollar, I think you were going over this with Magic on the beginning of the week, but as soon as this dollar loses the key support throughout all of this, you've really seen Bitcoin. If you just overlay Bitcoin on this and you look at this, you can really see every time that you have lost key support on the dollar, Bitcoin has rallied. Key support, Bitcoin's rallied. Key support, Well, what are we waiting for? We lose the support on the dollar DXY, we could be looking for that big parabolic rally. So I'm being patient, but I am pretty excited with what has been going on with these markets. And like you said, I think I was watching yesterday and you're saying, all the altcoins, they have this very similar pattern at the lows, right? Where they are all kind of accumulating and looking to take off. So that's something I'm definitely keeping my eyes on right now.
Speaking of that, are there any specific altcoins that the setup on the chart looks like they are getting ready for a big move?
Yeah, one little gift I think I can give to you is like we were looking at BNB. BNB, I'm not a massive pattern trader, but you can't deny this inverse head and shoulders.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you can't really
Yeah.
deny that, right? So coming back, retesting yesterday to this 580 level, this is easy back up to the all-time highs right here. So that's one thing we're looking at. That's just very, very obvious. Clearly, we want to wait and be patient to get into these positions, but that's one thing I'm looking at. Another one I'm looking at that I brought for you guys is TIA. Similar thing, right? You have these bottoming structures coming in, right? The spring, Wyckoff, whatever it is. This is more like an Adam and Eve, where you got the pointed top and the rounded bottom, right? This back tests and breaks out, right? So a lot of these things, like you've mentioned, are looking quite strong. Even ADA, which I like as well, because I like my ADA as well, and you can see that similar pattern, right? Looking to break out. It's not about the breakout though. It's really about that retest. You don't want to just jump onto the trade right away. You want to be patient and kind of set the trap, and that's what we try to do in my community. So I'm definitely keeping my eyes on
I'm happy.
a lot of these altcoins.
Alex, I'm happy you brought that up. Not trading the initial breakout, and sure, a lot of people can push back and say, well, yeah, you might lose out on some gains. Yeah, you can, but you can also, it could be a false breakout. So I think the perfect example, and feel free to pull up the chart if you want, but I talked about this. It was a phantom chart. We broke out of that long downtrend, and I talked about wait for the retest, and the retest came, and it went all the way back. I went all the way up to like 70 cents. Curious to see where Phantom is now. Phantom is currently sitting at 71.4 cents. So this thing has almost doubled in price over the last, I would say, 28 to 30 days. Phantom's a good one. Yeah, you got the chart pulled up there. Yeah, like you just showed, what was that? 3 altcoins that had inverse head and shoulders. And so I guess, Alex, my question to you is, you're an avid trader. You trade more than I do. What's your strategy then if all these charts essentially have the same trade setups? Are you looking at ones that have high volume? Are you looking at ones that have more liquidity? Are you looking at historical? What's your thing as far as, okay, 5 of these have inverse head and shoulders? Do you trade them all, or do you pick and choose which ones, and how do you pick and choose those?
Okay, so for basic strategy for picking these things, I tend to go for narrative. Like, we're not going to catch this SUI trade. Like, let's face it, right? Some things have just absolutely taken off, right? But we can see narrative comes into play. So another trade that I was looking at was this TON trade setup, right? So TON hadn't played out yet, but we know that TON got fudded up here by the guy getting put in jail, right? So this is just an easy, it's got to get back to that level here. So TON breaking out, looking for that continuation pattern. But these narratives are going to play, right? We saw what was it, BitTensor? BitTensor really took off as well, but then you can go and look into something like, okay, so AI is moving, so we can look at FET. So FET's got that move, I think, a couple of days after. Right, so it's that rotation. Look at Render. Render is the one that hasn't moved if we're looking at AI. So Render might be the one that's on your radar for that explosive move out of this bottoming structure, right? So if you're seeing AI move like BitTensor and FET, right, you can be looking throughout that category, that narrative, and that's where you can look to take advantage of price action on those tokens, right? And that's a very simple way of doing it, but things will move with each other, right? And some will move ahead of others. That's why I always look to look in the categories, and that's really going to give you an advantage when looking to trade something like that.
That's a great strategy because, speculation comes from, well, what are people speculating on, right? What sector is going to grow? And so I think that's great. Alex, I want to ask you, can we take a look at an ICP chart? We know the metrics on ICP as far as cycles burned, transactions, when Bob.fun was launched, it became deflationary. The token really rallied. It's, I believe, over $9. But what kind of setup are you seeing on the ICP chart? And what are some of your shorter term targets to the upside and to the downside?
Okay, let's look at ICP. This is looking like similar bottoming structure, right? So for me, it's understanding where we were before we dropped, and that was very simply, you can look here. So let's say it's $11, right? $11 looks pretty clear as support from before. So that's going to be your line in the sand, kind of like Ethereum's $2,800, right? So you have that line in the sand. That's where you really want to see price get above and hold. So for me right now, you can see kind of a triple bottoming rising wedge here. So I would look for like a retest on previous highs within this area and look for that continuation, right? For me, it's keeping it very simple, lowering the leverage on any of these altcoins. You're going to get the move, right? So for me, looking for the retest along back in here, anywhere down within this $9 area or somewhere you can look to take advantage of price action, then targeting back up to this, right? So it's going to take a couple of hits. I think Gareth Soloway talks about, knocking down a door at key levels of resistance, right? But eventually this thing is going to ramp up and reclaim that area and look to get to those highs and within this range, right? Between the ranges is where I look to trade this. So this would be my target, getting back up to $11 and continuing to move up.
Yeah, that was kind of my range as well. And then the last one I want to ask you to show, Alex, is a Kaspa chart. We do have a Kaspa video coming out later today. Kaspa has kind of cooled off. It's one of the few altcoins that is down on the 7-day and the 30-day. Had a big rally going into the KRC20 token launch. Kaspa is one that we really, really, really like, not just for the short term, but for the long term as well. It's got a lot of great things going for it. What is the Kaspa chart telling you? Is now a good time to maybe get a position open on Kaspa after, essentially, maybe not distribution, but sideways price action over the last 7 to 28 days?
Yeah, so looking at Kaspa, definitely has that strong uptrend. The narrative is absolutely killer on Kaspa. I bought at 10 cents down here and I sold up here, and I no longer hold Kaspa. So it's an unbiased opinion. So I would like to see this volume node within here hold, and that's around 15.8 cents. Okay, so that would be my ideal area for Kaspa to hold. And then holding this trend line is going to be critical. This has been all the way since we've really taken off here back in October of 2023. So you can see this is a great trend line to be watching. If you do lose this level, I would expect just a simple bounce coming back to that 14-cent area, right around that point of control. That would be ideal if you are to lose this level. However, with the narrative right now, I would look for Kaspa to probably break out of this flag. It is in a little bit of a flag coming out of here. So holding this area and then trying to reclaim some higher prices would be ideal for Kaspa. Kaspa, it's very clear the way Kaspa trades. It moves, it consolidates, it moves, it consolidates, right? It did that over here. So just another consolidation. We should be expecting a move typically. So whether it happens at 15 cents or 14 cents is all good, in my opinion, for all you Kaspa holders. So I think that's looking good as well, right? Up and to the right, which is what we want to see on any chart.
That's definitely what we want to see. Alex, we appreciate you joining us, my friend. Thank you so much. To those of you watching that are not subscribed to Alex on YouTube, highly, highly recommended. At Alex O Crypto, he does live shows. He does content-specific videos. He's just a good dude. Knows what he's talking about. So, Alex, we appreciate you joining us, my friend. Thank you so much, and we look forward to having you on again, brother.
Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it. Have a wonderful rest of your day.
Get some sleep, okay?
I will. I'll try.
Take care. All right, before we move forward, I do want to give a big thank you to today's channel sponsor. Today's show is brought to you by Legacy Network and the Legacy Academy, approaching 250,000 downloads on both Apple and Google. If you want to learn and earn LGCT tokens, which is live on the app, when the token is going to launch very, very soon, download the app. It's fun. It's engaging. You get to learn different topics. And it's a beautiful app. I have my kids download it, my wife. We have Ashley. I think everyone in the studio has the app. And if you haven't downloaded the app, do yourselves a favor. Do that. If you want to join the Telegram, stay up to date, the link is in the description of this video. Now, I had this article yesterday. This is prior to Bitcoin crossing 65K. And that was interesting, right? So it's from Cointelegraph. 3 reasons why Bitcoin struggles to hold 64.5. Obviously, now we're sitting at, and I'll get rid of this, We're sitting at 65.6 as the price of Bitcoin. But it was interesting. The three things they mentioned, the first one was fear of recession impacts investor sentiment. I think personally that fear is starting to dwindle. And the main reason is because of this. The central banks and the governments globally have gotten used to, at any small sign of something going wrong, they just like to flood the market with money. The US did it, the global economies did it, and now China's doing it, right? The second largest economy in the entire world is panicking. This is from the Kobayashi letter. In fact, China is showing 2008-like signs as they are on the brink of a severe recession. Over the last 2 days, China has begun pandemic-level stimulus as seen during lockdowns in 2020. And Robin, if you want to remind the viewers, what happened to the price of Bitcoin and crypto and after the COVID crash of 2020?
Oh, does nobody know?
Maybe they don't know. Maybe they need a reminder.
Yeah, nah.
We dropped down to
yeah.
3,500 and rallied to 10K almost. I don't want to say immediately, but pretty damn close to immediately.
Yeah, we went down to 3,000 abruptly, but the $3,000 price drop, that was, I think it was less than 24 hours.
Yeah, it was. It was a flash crash.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, unless you had limit orders put in, you probably didn't get it at that point. Did hang around 6,000 to 8,000 for a couple days, and then
what did it take? A year to go to 69,000?
Yeah, so you had a solid 10x. I mean, sure, the time window there was minimal.
20x.
No, yeah, from the wick
From the
bottom.
very bottom.
Yeah, but realistically, I consider 6,000 kind of the bottom, right? Because I don't remember exactly what the time frame was where it was under 10,000, but it still didn't crush $10,000 immediately. So it still took a few weeks, but then after that, we know where it went, and so. Yeah, man, I think like the narratives are changing this time around. I don't think it's going to be off the backs of printing to kick off the bull market. I think the bull market's going to be kicked off of a supply and demand shock because of post-halving and the demand from the ETFs and demand from nation states.
Can I not argue that part of demand is the money?
No. Well, here's the thing. I think that because of inflation, you're slowly devaluing the currency, and it takes more dollars to buy Bitcoin. And I think that what we'll see is more printing coming next year, right? I think that regardless of who wins the election, there's going to be agendas that are going to be proposed, agendas that both candidates are going to have to deliver on. Now, how many agendas do they deliver on? Say Kamala Harris wins. She's obviously going to have tons of tax credits, which are going to come in the form of printing. Hey, you have your first kid, you get $6,000. Your first business, you get $25,000. Your first house, you get $20,000. And then, hey,
Robin, don't forget, she was raised in a middle school family or a middle class family.
So, and then even with Trump, he's going to obviously draw a lot of funding for his projects as well. He's going to continue his wall. So basically where I'm getting at is that supply and demand is going to push the price up because of a lack of supply and a surge and a run on demand. And that is what we're seeing now. And I think that is going to continue and escalate and accelerate here by the end of the year. And then you couple that with printing, which I think will come early next year when the new president is in office. And at that point, you take the Bitcoin price. Let's just say it's at 120,000. When the president takes office, you increase the money supply. There's more money going around. Inflation starts to tick up. I think that's when you see that $250,000, $500,000 Bitcoin.
One more thing on China. This from Radar Hits. China considers $142 billion capital injection into the big banks. So they just can't help themselves. At any sign of little trouble, they want to interject and they want to prop the economies up. And I think people are starting to catch on and saying, okay, this can only last so long. Let's move our money into harder assets. And Bitcoin is at the forefront of that. And the other two things, right? Said three reasons why Bitcoin can't break 64.5. The first one was fears of recession. Number 2 and 3 are U.S. elections and potential stock market bubble. So as far as the U.S. elections go, Kamala Harris seemingly has been speaking on crypto and blockchain more. She's now mentioned it again, talking about how the U.S. should be the leader in blockchain technology. Great. As far as a potential stock market bubble, I think investors know that even if we're starting to go down, guess what? The Fed is going to step in. And I mentioned these people who have been so outspoken against crypto are starting to capitulate. And you have Maxine Waters says crypto is inevitable. Other countries are way ahead of the United States. So the fear of, well, if Trump doesn't get into office, crypto's not going anywhere, I think that is slowly starting to dwindle as people are realizing, look, even if Kamala Harris wins and she's not as bullish on Bitcoin and crypto as Trump and his team are, she ain't going to be worse than Biden, at least from what she's saying. You have people like Maxine Waters who are capitulating. I think a lot of the fears that people have are starting to go away, and I think that's part of the reason I believe that this rally will be sustained.
Maxine Waters did not get orange pilled. She does not care about crypto. She's just saying that people that are running for office are getting
she said
tons
crypto
of
was
donations.
inevitable.
Yeah, the campaign donations from crypto are inevitable. Tell me, you actually believe that she has changed her ideology on crypto? No, she just sees that like, hey, there's a bunch
But I
of people
never said.
there's a lot of people that have crypto, and those are potential voters. Also, campaign donations are flooding in from crypto-based companies, and so that is the only reason. That lady has not downloaded a wallet. She has not watched the video. She's not in our chat. She is only saying this because she's politically motivated to say this.
But what does that say about our industry?
Yeah, there's a lot of money going around.
We're flexing our muscle.
DJ is just to be throwing that.
We got a
cash
lot
on
of
the
muscle,
baby.
man. We got muscles here, muscles there, muscles everywhere, and we're flexing them.
All right. We also got a bunch of new people in the chat here and everywhere. So if you are new, say something. We'll give you a little shout out. We got God Bless, Dr. Feelgood, John Dew, Green Giant, Luke Bailey, Michael with an AL. And we got Lloyd Roger, God Bless, Chadwick's Racing, Maddox, Pokemon Enthusiast, Snipers, Buck, XZA with a bunch of other letters, Maddox, Buck, Dom, and then Alex
Bucks.
O dropped a $20 super chat.
Canadian dollars.
I guess he was paying to do the charts here. Not necessary.
That's not how it works. We're supposed to pay you.
And,
Thank
thanks
you,
to all of you, and to all of you, hola! Welcome to Sin City Cooking.
Hey, I'm glad you mentioned the chat. Did I get fired? What happened to my little wrench thingy?
Your wrench thingy?
Why can't I put people in timeout no more?
I don't know. Somebody fired you. Wasn't me.
Your wrench went away?
Yeah,
I'll fix it for you. Don't worry.
thank you.
No, you're not fired, Ashley.
Okay, good.
Unless you, never mind. Rob, let's take a look at the rest of the market. So we know Alex kind of did the breakdown on the charts. What are the top gainers, and what are ones you got your eye on right now?
Well, we did briefly discuss it earlier, but you have Cardano over 40 cents. Well, briefly over 40 cents. And so, this is what we've been eyeing. Take a look on the 1 week here for Cardano. Cardano is sitting at 34 cents this week, just a few days ago. And so big performance, up 12% on the week. And so for a top 10 project that we're waiting to break out, this 40 cents has historically been, in the short term, a big level of resistance. And so yet again, we are here at the 40 cent mark. Will we cross above it, break out, and back to the 70 cents? That's what I think is going to happen. I think that if Bitcoin stays over 65 cents, that will give the fuel.
I wish Bitcoin was at 65 cents.
Yeah, $65,000. As long as it stays over $65,000, I think you have the scenario where Cardano is going to keep running. I think that as long as Bitcoin stays over $65,000, I forecast that we'll see a 60-cent Cardano in October. So the next 6 weeks.
Let me ask you
which will be a 50% run up from where it is now.
Let me ask you a very specific question. Are you going to make more money being exposed to Ethereum or Cardano for only the month of October?
Gotta go Cardano on this one.
Really?
I think that the breakout is imminent. There's just what is the narrative behind Ethereum right now? They have a lot of liquidity. They have the ETF. Would it surprise me if
It hasn't really run.
I know.
Like Cardano had a run.
You know what's
right?
scary? Take a look. This is the 1-year chart on Ethereum, just compared to Bitcoin. Look at this here. And so, you have the orange there on the top is Bitcoin. It has not outperformed Bitcoin at all this year.
okay.
And the deviation is growing that much larger. You can see that it was in sidestep with Bitcoin, slightly deviated here, and now it's really, really losing a lot. We've had, in this 1 year, we've had 150% gains from Bitcoin, but yet only 60% returns on the 1 year from Ethereum. So for me, until this becomes, if we don't close this gap, I can't pile in on Ethereum yet. I need to see some movement, at least against Bitcoin.
What time frame is that? 1 year?
That's the 1 year.
Okay.
Now you go further back. Obviously, last bull market, Ethereum was at $1. So you go on any longer time frames, you're going to see that Ethereum has outperformed Bitcoin. But I'm looking at it from this bull market, right? This bull market really kind of started a year ago, right? I mean, it wasn't the very bottom a year ago, but essentially we were kind of in the midst of, the early stages of the bull market. And this bull market just hasn't worked out well for Ethereum. And we know that altcoins should outperform Bitcoin in a bull market.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that gap is going to widen or it's going to shrink?
That's what I'm saying. It keeps widening. That's my concern. My concern is
So you think it's going to keep going that way?
My concern is that Bitcoin gets to, say, $120,000, it 2x's, and Ethereum's at, say, $4,000. Now, is that good returns? Yeah, but
so you think we're going to get a 2x out of Bitcoin?
I'm not saying. I'm saying my concern is that scenario plays out. I still hold true to the fact that I think that altcoins ultimately outperform Bitcoin. They have historically done so, and Ethereum has performed very well against Bitcoin in bull markets, and so I still think that that's going to happen.
Okay.
I would lean 60% that I think from this point forward, Ethereum outperforms Bitcoin. But there's still about a 40% likelihood, in my opinion, that Ethereum just keeps losing against Bitcoin. And so for the risk versus reward, why take a flyer on Ethereum at this point? I'm not exiting my position. I haven't sold Ethereum. I still have one of my largest allocations out of my portfolio is for Ethereum. I still hold strong with that. And regardless, even if Bitcoin does outperform Ethereum, you are going to see some hefty returns from ETH. So it's not a total loss there, but I still think that there's more likelihood that Ethereum outperforms. And you know what? You have the ETF. I think at some point, I think Wall Street's going to wake up to the fact like, hey, you know what? This Ethereum, it's better than, it's going to be better returns than Bitcoin, and perhaps they'll start getting more of that traditional money piling into Ethereum, and maybe more companies, and who knows, maybe even nation state dips its toes into some Ethereum allocation.
I'm curious what the chat thinks. I want to ask you the same question I asked Robin. Will October be more bullish for for Ethereum or Cardano? If you're a member of the channel, use the emojis. If not, put a 1 for Ethereum, put a 2 for Cardano. In just the month of October, which one will bring you more gains? I'm actually leaning a little more towards Ethereum. I think Ethereum's been undervalued against all the other altcoins. It hasn't really had its day in the sun. It rallied briefly to up to $3,000 when the ETF news came out. Then it's been flat. But things are still happening on the network. And we got to remember, Ethereum is a deflationary token once the usage starts to climb up. And all it takes is, look what happened to ICP. Usage goes up, becomes inflationary, we see a big move. Unless you don't think usage is coming back to Ethereum, I don't know. I think longer term, I'm more of a Cardano bull. I have a bigger Cardano bag than I have an Ethereum bag. But I think just for the month of October, I'm gonna have to go. With ETH. Nothing against Cardano. Again, hold a crap load of Cardano. So
I do got I got a few things on the Uptober. So, there's a lot of talks about Uptober. And so here you have a chart just to remind you what's around the corner in less than a week. We're going to move into October. Last year, up 28%. The year before, 5.5. And then you have 39% in 2021, and then 27% in 2020. So where do you think we come in on this month? And then before you answer that, you also have some other. So this is one of the Bitcoin charts here. I know you've seen a lot of these on Twitter, but just to show you the narrative, and then also a little fun in the sun here. October, here we go.
Moonvember, Bullcember. I like these.
Oh yeah, and so probably copyrighted, but whatever. We'll scratch this after.
Is that Will Ferrell?
Yeah, Jim Carrey.
And Chris, what was his name? The dude from Roxbury Night.
I don't remember his name.
Damn it! Someone help me, Chris something from the Night at the Roxbury. Anyways, a lot of I think it's kind of split. I'm seeing a lot of ones, which was for Ethereum. Definitely seen some twos, but I think both projects are great to exploit. I actually put 5. Interesting, Ashley. Never mind. Chris Kattan. Thank you, Broke Yoshi. Appreciate you. Let's talk about some altcoin news. Avalanche, which we haven't really talked about a lot. I still have my Avalanche bag. Haven't added, haven't subtracted, still holding. This is interesting. Avalanche announces a $40 million grant for developers as the Avalanche 9000 kicks off. What is Avalanche 9000? The objective of this initiative is to encourage and support developers to build on the 9000 testnet, the latest upgrade on the network that simplifies the process for developers. This is the latest update. So it's essentially encouraging developers to build their own layer 1 blockchains on Avalanche. What is Avalanche Retro 9000? It isn't just an upgrade, it is a complete system for developers. What are the benefits to Avalanche and building on Avalanche? Well, developers can build custom blockchains, control staking economics, and integrate regulatory compliance. With their evergreen subnets, this has been one key area where Avalanche has really stood out. We know the California DMV. Oh, God. We know that.
You said Avalanche 9000. The first thing that pops into my head was the robot from RoboCop. I don't remember what it was called, but I'm pretty sure it was something 9000. And so, is this Avalanche in disguise? I don't know.
Maybe it is.
Possibly.
Yeah. Does it have $40 million hidden somewhere? Then yes.
Maybe.
But the Evergreen subnets, the ability to customize it and from a different geolocations have different compliance, have different AML, have different KYC standards. Avalanche allows builders and developers to do that. And so I think part of the reason we saw the California DMV launch their motor vehicle records on the Avalanche blockchain. And then you have this as well. It unlocks full customization, including gas tokens and permissionless validator sets. Avalanche Layer 1s have already been deployed by well-known companies like Deloitte and DeFi Kingdoms. The network also includes Avalanche interchain messaging. This connects all the Layer 1s in the network, allowing them to share liquidity and grow together, similar to what Cosmos does. So, Robin, when you look at a project like AVAX that is currently sitting at number 12 at just shy of $29, this thing got up to $40, $50. Last cycle got up to $145, all-time high. What's your outlook on Avalanche?
I'm not quite on board with Avalanche just yet.
You're not on board with Avalanche.
Man.
Why?
Nothing against.
Well, that
Avalanche.
sounds like a personal attack.
I don't know. It's just it. Even this breakout here.
What do you not like about Avalanche? Because I can tell you 100 things I like about it.
The project is good. The community is good. The games are amazing.
But
they're just not a lot of buzz on it, man. I mean, tell me you see Avalanche in your Twitter feed, and tell me you hear people talking about Avalanche at work, or at the office or at the. I don't know, man. I when I talk to people and they know I'm plugged into crypto, they're like, hey, man, Solana this, Cardano, Ethereum. Hey, what's up, Casper? I haven't had anybody ask me anything about Avalanche.
I can say the same thing about ICP. I can say the same thing about Phantom. I can say the same thing about all these projects that you said you're bullish on.
Well, then there's also, you go to the conventions, there's no presence of Avalanche there. It's just like, I don't see them front and center. I don't. And that's, I mean, for right now, I mean, we need, for these alts, you need the retail, right? Because institutions isn't coming up and buying Cardano. Institutions aren't coming in and buying Avalanche. Institutions aren't coming in and buying Caspa. Now, I know there are a couple outliers. You got Marathon mining Caspa. You have, you know, some nation state integration with Cardano. But, you know, Avalanche does have some nation state deals. I think it was with CBDCs. But it's just not a lot of buzz there. I mean, that's just me, man. I don't know.
But shouldn't you be getting in when there is no buzz?
No, you want to wait for it to start heating up, man.
Get in that sucker now, bro.
There's too many projects that have a lot of potential.
Avalanche.
And so if you just spread out to all the potential products that all have good teams and good product, I mean, you know, you can sit here and say, hey, man, the Sega Dreamcast is the sickest console out there. But if people aren't buying it, it's going to fail. Nobody's going to build games on it. And so it just needs retail interest and FOMO.
Bro, don't fade Avalanche, bro.
And all I'm saying is that, like, I'm not fading it. I'm just saying I got it on the sideline. And if I see that the crowd is cheering for it, then I'll put them in the game.
Crowd is cheering for it. Rocco, can we get a round of applause? Cheers from the crowd. Robin is buying Avalanche.
Not yet.
I'm bullish on Avalanche. I love AVAX. I love what they're doing. I love the system they have in place with the subnets. You want to launch a subnet, you got to have a certain amount of validators. I think the number is 5. Each validator needs 2,000 AVAX token. It brings that demand pressure. Gaming, RWA, nation states. I mean, what is there not to like about Avalanche? I'm a big bull on Avalanche. I think $29 is an absolute steal. Take a look at their tokenomics, 446 million total supply with a max cap of 715 million. And you got 56% of that already circulating. Off the grid, I mean, the first ever crypto, like blockchain native console game, that's pretty big, man. DeFi, I mean, I can go on and on. Avalanche, pretty bullish on Avalanche. If you're bullish on Avalanche, put a 1 in the chat. I'm curious. Then the one thing I want to talk about is PayPal is unleashing crypto trading for U.S. businesses. We know you can do it in your individual account, but now if you're a business, you can also buy, trade, and sell cryptocurrencies and hold them in your PayPal account as well. PayPal announced a new feature allowing PayPal business accounts to buy, sell, and trade directly through their accounts. Jose Fernandez de Ponte, which is PayPal's senior vice president of blockchain and crypto, noted that businesses have been seeking the same crypto features available to individual consumers. We know they have their own stable coin, PYUSD, and PayPal boasts almost 30 million business accounts on their platform. Is everyone going to go in and buy crypto? No. But we're moving towards a scenario where anyone, anywhere, whether you're a business, an individual, you have a lot of money, you have little money, no KYC, yes KYC, through a bank, through an exchange, you want to buy it, there's going to be so many different ways, so many different avenues for you to do it that it's only going to help adoption. Super bullish on PayPal. Going deeper into crypto.
PayPal is a little Trojan horse, bro. I think that because of
they're the largest fintech company in the world.
Well, I'm saying that the Trojan horse for crypto, right? They have the users. I think that because we've over-regulated the crypto exchanges here in the United States, I think that if you get a recognizable name like PayPal, like Robinhood, and instead of having that traditional exchange, I think that they're going to steal a lot of potential new retail. I think that retail, instead of downloading the next exchange to be offered here in the U.S., I think they're just going to use platforms that they're already familiar with, like TD Ameritrade, like PayPal, like Robinhood, and maybe, BNY Mellon. I think that people are going to use things that they already have on their phone as far as apps or financial services, instead of going out and asking their friend,
that's what I'm saying.
What exchange should you? Yeah. And so I think this is an absolute Trojan horse here. And I wouldn't be surprised that if in 3 or 4 years, we're looking at PayPal as one of the largest distributors of limit orders for US based customers.
And also, they have their own stable coin. So I can see a scenario where there'll be some features where as a business, you can accept crypto as payment. You can settle with stable coins. And to your and my point as well is, hey, you want to buy, you're going to have 20 different options. Don't want to open an account? You got one at PayPal? Use that. You got one at your bank? Use that. So it's really good. That's all we got for the show today.
All right. Then last shout out to those of you that are new. I had Luis B, Craig D, Aaron Knipes, Crypto Ale, Lunar Beaches, Eric C, John G, Geo Hendricks, Ada Head, Crypto Rico Cheeks, and Jay Hudge. To all of you, hola, welcome.
And Elio
Lugo, yeah, ooh, same time, bro.
Yeah, same time. So a lot of ones. So a lot of people are bullish on Avalanche. I am too, my friends. Big thank you to Alex O for joining us. Make sure to come back tomorrow, you guys. We have our Friday show. Going to end the week off with a bang. We're doing a lot of things behind the scenes here. I'm excited to announce some of those things to you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. With that being said, Rocco, thank you all so much. We appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Follow us on X at Sin City Crypto 1. Until tomorrow, my friends, we'll see you next time. Peace. Casper video drops in 1 hour. Go watch it.
City Crypto. Everybody know we here for entertainment and info. Gonna show you how to get that big dough. So every day stay tapped in for big facts, no capping. With Bitcoin, if you're in, then you win. We divide the pie with no fraction. It's Big Rob, David. I split the game, but they gave it. Named according to your favorite. I got dry powder, why save it? To the OGs, new beginners. Special shout out to the well members. Buy the dip, sell winners. Ain't really nothing you can tell sinners. Tune in for the latest new flavors. They gonna teach us mean coins. They polarizing like barbecue chicken pizzas. I laugh with a major grin. Laggers, we trade them in. Baddies, they came to sin. And sinners gon' play to win. Screaming, hola, till my bags are flowing over. Hold ya to the moon and to the solar.
Guys, we are one subscriber away from 76,000. Who's going to get us there? If you're not subscribing and you're watching, get us to 76K. We need one more sub. Thank you.